So there's a general belief within Canadian society that the Liberal Party of Canada is the supposed party of multiculturalism and diversity. Yet we seldom actually ask ourselves if visible minorities, i.e. the people multiculturalism sought to include in the first place, even actually believe that. In fact, we seem to know fairly little about visible minorities' political attitudes in general. While yes, we do know that they have a tendency to prefer the Liberal Party more so than other Canadians, we don't even know actually why that is the case. Using survey data from over 5,000 respondents, of whom over 2,000 were from a visible minority background, my master's thesis seeks to develop a more nuanced and sophisticated portrait of visible minorities' political attitudes in Canada. My findings show that even in 2014, visible minority Canadians still had a much greater propensity to support the Liberal Party when compared to other Canadians. And that this gap in Liberal support was not explained by social demographic factors such as gender or income, nor was it explained by social values or even differences in economic ideology. What then explains this gap in Liberal support between visible minorities and other Canadians? One hypothesis suggests that, well, visible minorities support the Liberal Party because the Liberal Party is the supposed party of multiculturalism and diversity. I test this hypothesis in two ways. First, I looked at visible minorities' opinion of multiculturalism and its effect on Liberal support. My findings show that even though visible minorities did tend to have much more positive opinions of multiculturalism in general, it had little to no effect in affecting their level of Liberal support. My second measure, which was that of ethnic identification, or how closely visible minorities felt attached to their ethnic community, was, however, a significant predictor of Liberal support. As such, whereas visible minorities with a strong sense of ethnic identification tended to support the Liberals, those with a weaker sense of ethnic identification tend to support the Conservatives on the other hand. This finding suggests that whereas visible minorities with a strong sense of ethnic belonging will prioritize their group's collective interests and thus continue to support the Liberals because they view the Liberal Party as being the party of minorities, those with a weaker sense of ethnic identification and arguably a more individualistic outlook on politics in general will instead emphasize more personal level values such as social conservatism and economic ideology. In this sense, whereas visible minorities with a strong sense of belonging with their community continue to be something of an outlier when compared to other Canadian voters, those with a more individualistic outlook on politics might not actually be that much different from other Canadians. Thank you.